Now, what do you have for our listeners here to do on a daily to strengthen their mindset so that when challenges come, when life hits them, when a storm comes, that they can be the victor instead of jumping down to the victim?
Everyone should be the hero in their story. Start viewing yourself from a third party as a third party observer. Would you be proud of this person if you were watching this as a movie? Everything, closed doors, open doors, ways of thinking, everything's real. Everything's accounted for. There's no neutrals here. Everything's plus or minus. So go move through your day with that. And the second part is you've got to be real clear on where you're going. Right? The vision, if it's clear, the price is simple. So with that, with those two pieces, things start to get a little bit more clear. And then also you have to have a rooted plan. You cannot waver from your daily disciplines by how you feel. Never. Not if you're sick, not if your dog dies, not if your mom dies. Dead serious. Nothing. Not if an asteroid hits me. Nothing would change what I do. Nothing. If people work with that philosophy, then they always have a foundation. The chaos can be noisy, but they're at least calm. That is the person that is not going to get pushed off course judged by external forces. Someone that's grounded. Now, I'm not saying things don't get expedited and you can't bend a little bit with things, right? You got to be able to adjust. I'm not saying you got to be that strict to where you break, but there has to be some rooted disciplines that center you, that raise your vibration, and also taking responsibility for your vibration, how you act. Are you at a low frequency? Don't put that on other people, right? Be responsible, not only in what you do, but in what vibration you're putting off. And then we have tools to be able to do that, right? And maintaining that correct frequency allows you to maintain that correct perspective.
It's interesting because a lot of people, I could just go off my own personal experience. I'm very regimented, and my family is always like, "You get no wiggle room," and they're always saying like that's a lack of freedom, and I'm like, no, I think discipline and having that regiment gives you the most freedom. I'm taking care of me, and when I take care of me, then everyone around me is benefiting versus
Yes.
versus the other way. And people forget that discipline, I believe, I'm into, is that it's the highest form of freedom.
Yes. Discipline equals freedom. Like Jocko Willing says, it's so true because you allow to have some freedom with your time. Right? If you're not disciplined, your time's not yours. You're at the whim of your desires, of lack of scheduling, of it doesn't work. So you have to have discipline to be able to operate in a clean and efficient way.
One last question for you. If you had a how what advice do you have for a client that has a family and has kids, and it's a little bit more challenging to be on when you're at the whim of your kids, especially young kids, because sometimes there is no schedule.
Most of my clients have kids.
Mhm.
Most, right? I'd say most men and women have kids. And I was telling them, well, get up early. They go, well, I went to bed late. Okay, I guess you'll be a little tired. There is no way around the fact that you just have to make a decision about what is non-negotiable. That's it, right? You find a time to put on pants. Is that non-negotiable, right? There's so many things that you could do that we just assume. We'll start to assume other things. Start to branch that out that are just mandatory, right? You brush your teeth. Found time to do that, right? I call what I do emotional and psychological grooming. It's just what you do. It's not a option. Just like putting on pants. It takes no discipline. It takes very little time, really. And if your kids get up at 5, well, you better get up at 4. If they get up at 4, you better get up at 3, right? You have to have time to do these things. And put them next to you and do it. There's a bazillion ways to get it done, always. So I always say, you just keep pushing it until you find a way to make it work.